Dun 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 dun. Hey, this is Loci here, and I've got a treat for you guys today. This is the SDBBM by Juno. It makes me think of Mario Brothers when I think of the name, because if I don't think of Mario Brothers, it makes me think of something else. But this is by Juno, an Australian puzzle maker that creates very complex interlocking puzzles and sequential discovery puzzles. And in this one here, he's combined both of them together. This is a 6-piece interlocking burr, a big one, and each of the pieces isn't locked just by the notches and the way it's created. It's also locked by locks. So there's tools involved, and that's where the SDBBM comes from. So it's a sequential discovery, boxed burr master. And that's because he's done other versions before. And just like a burr, when you get it, everything's going to be nice and tight. If you know the right angles or the orientation of the pieces to do this, all you have to do is find the main piece and get the key to come out, and it will slide open, revealing the first burr. Now this one is locked in place because of this. You want to be very careful with this puzzle because there are surprising parts that are heavy that can just slide right out. So this piece was in that groove, this notch right here. By pushing in this button and sliding that part out, you're able to release the first of the burrs. Now by sliding this over here, you then release this piece which was locked into here. So if you look at it this way, you'll see the little notch there that it rests in. This is your first tool. And as you can see, a little hole right here. Not too complex. It's more of the adventure here. That moves that out of the way so you can open it. And it reveals the next tool. I don't number them yet because it might be a surprise on how many tools we actually have here. So, with this piece out, we now have this here where we can see the screw hole. So we just screw it in here. And what this is it's a magnet in there on the end of wood. And that serves as a plug as it goes in that hole. So now that this is unplugged, this burr can slide out as well, actually completely. Now this one is easy to get into as we already have a magnet. And this here, you can see light, and light, and in the center, there's a heavy magnet, and that pulls the lid right off. And we get ourselves another tool. And these two burrs have now been solved, their puzzle boxes having been opened. So now we need to find where this tool is going to go. And that one is going to be, it's actually, oh, almost lost you, this one right here. So we're actually going to remove this piece as it's free. And this one, I'll just let you know now, is the final one. So we'll come back to it. The keyhole could be an indicator. Now this is supposed to take this tool right here, but honestly, if you know the angles of this, you don't have to actually use the tool to get this piece out. It makes it easier, I'll give it that. But you turn, and this is at an angle. So what we really want here is that piece out, and they all kind of come up. This is going to slide up, and all three pieces come apart. And we have another tool that comes apart in all this that was holding it together. So we go ahead and use this tool, and we put it right in there where it fits, and we turn, and you can actually feel it rumbling there. So we turn that and take the magnet right there, and we can open the door. And what you get inside there is part of a gear. Oh, goodness, part of a gear. I say part because it's not complete. And that is another solved burr. Now, this piece here has a slot. I actually humored the idea of blowing into this. This would move when you did it. But the actual solution is a little more elegant. You just cram everything in there. And this is where the actual pieces of the lids become handy. See? And now we have a second gear. And another solved burr. 2 left. This one here, you can see the split down there. And after playing with it a bit, you'll learn this has nothing to do with it. This is quite interesting. And a lot of people solved this one without the 2 pieces, so they would leave that one burr open. But you put in one before the other, you crank the gears together. Oh, you gotta put the right one in first. So, like that. And it clicks right open. All of the tolerances and ways everything is made in here is really fantastic. And some of these contraptions, just think of the thought that goes into putting all of this right here together. Got your gears out and another solved burr. We're at 5 now. We have a lot of stuff in front of us. This harkens to angel box and turtle trip type levels of stuff, right? And then we have our final box. This one is tricky and took me a few days to actually figure out the sequence to. It is a keyhole. So you take your screw-on bit here and you make yourself a key. Now this seems to be obvious what goes in there. That's going to be this, but it's being used right now, so that gives you a clue. If you look over here, there's another one too that looks like it goes to this guy. And since we know this guy was hidden here on it, we know this isn't part of the lock to the burr. This is a part of this puzzle. So we're going to go in here and you turn, and we don't see anything, but if you turn up high, you'll see the hole open. So we open the hole, we plug the hole with this, and let go, and see, it stays locked. So now we go down in and turn that lock. Hear that? The cool thing about this lock is it's got a wedge, like it's on a ramp type thing. So as you turn it and pull up, it sticks, and you can unscrew this and leave the key in the lock. So we have this plugged, we have the key plugging it. We're gonna go ahead and plug this hole and do a balancing act here and use our magnet again to open it up. And inside you see Juno's name and you see the prize, which is in this little baggie. Funny enough, when I released one of my magic products, I used this very same type of baggie. It was just a larger version. I had the smiley faces and everything for my gimmicks. And there we have found Juno's infinity symbol. Very, very cool. A little prize, lots of stuff here. What do we got? Technically a tool. Technically a tool. Tool, 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 tool. We'll call that one tool and tool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things that you use. Maybe a new record. What are my thoughts on this? Well, I probably won't be able to share them until I get this back together for you real quick. Because surprisingly enough, that's when the burr kicks back in. Now it's time to figure out how to put this thing together. You have to do it in a very certain order, because if you rush any of the parts, you might find that you're not able to get it back together. So let's go ahead and get our key bit out. This one is reset. Go ahead and get the key head off. We don't need a key anymore, so this can go back inside where it came from. We're going to go ahead and line that up. Nice and perfect. Okay. This one here was a gear. We don't need the gears. They were to open a door, so they can be put back. Go ahead and put that just like this, and it clicks right back in place. 3 down. This one here was the other gear. need any of that, so we close that up. We don't need this to lock it, so we can put this back in here as well. Hard to do while looking at my screen. Okay, just like that. Oh, sorry, piece. Magnets, how do they work? And finally, this piece. Now, we can go ahead and put this back together. Just realize that if you do this piece out of order, you're gonna be taking it all back apart to get this guy back out. Just a word of warning. This was a tool that was holding it together. This was plugged in the one piece, and this magnet holds in another part. How do we get it back together? Well, there's a major clue here. It's this groove, this little slot piece. This tells you that something has to slide in that groove, and there you go. There is your piece. So you know this goes like this, and if you remember your disassembly, you know that it was locked at the beginning too, like this. So we just have to find the piece that goes in here with it. Well, if we remember correctly, it was the piece holding that tool for us. So we put that back. That's in there now. We know that that goes right here. See? So there's not a whole lot to figure out now. We just have to orientate everything the right way. The best way to do this is to put this one on the burr, slide this one up and out, put this one here, and the idea is to pull this out and this guy down. I think I'm doing this right. Probably not. This is the dexterity portion of the puzzle, of course. Okay, so think it through. This piece has to come down like this, and I always have trouble with this one. So this piece slots into here, the tool. So I should have put a placemat down. Okay, that's where we want it, right there. And that'll lock in as it comes out. So we start low like this so that this one slots in above. There it goes. And before I shut it, obviously I need to put this piece back in again. There we go. And this all just locks in place just like that. Now, the next piece is the magnet piece right here, okay? But you gotta get everything in right. So first, you wanna get this piece back in, but you don't wanna forget to plug the tool and let it slide out past this before you turn it over. It's just gonna stay locked. Then you're gonna slide this piece just like that. Now drop the magnet down in, and this piece is now locked. Now this piece is locked, right? We're gonna turn it upside down, which releases it again, and we're gonna slide it out just like we had at the beginning. Now we know this piece, this piece has to go in this hole right here. So we're gonna angle it, we're gonna bring it in, and we're gonna push the button in and let it fall at an angle, just like that. There's the button pushed in, and we'll just bring it back, lay it down, click, click, turn over. We are locked and ready to share with someone else. Oh, goodness. Speaking of which, this was shared with me by a member of the Mechanical Discord, Mechanical Puzzle Discord. So I want to thank them, especially for letting me have the opportunity to experience this. And what are my thoughts? This is great. This is a fantastic puzzle. I think will be up there with the likes of Angel Boxes and Turtle Trips in the sense of steps, tools. I say that a lot because I feel like the best way to design a sequential discovery puzzle is to make a clever way to naturally find an opening, get a tool out of it. Then use that tool to open a new area with another tool, and then that tool opens another, and you just go down a progression of solving puzzles and getting rewards. And then those rewards are used to get more rewards. It's just like the gotcha games or the apps where the whole you're really doing like manual labor, you know, on an app on your phone, like a clicker game, you know. but you're constantly getting rewarded with something. But this is way better than a clicker game. Juno's work is great. You can see all these amazing cuts and all of these definitions that he put in. The steps are very clever. The pieces is very well thought out, and it's very elegantly simple when you think of it, like the idea of a 6-piece burr having puzzle boxes in each of them, and then tools to open those boxes are used to lock the burr together. This is great. Destined to be an auction breaker. I know that before it even came out, this thing was breaking auctions on the charity versions. I'm thankful I was loaned it because the Mechanical Puzzle Discord broke the website the day this thing came out. So, you know, I remember sitting there looking at the cart, and I had one, and I was like, wow, am I going to buy this? And I know nothing about it. So it's a lot to drop, you know, $600 on when you don't have any idea. Now that I've experienced this, I'm not going to question that. So what do I rate this one? You know, with me, I always got something different up my sleeve for the ratings. This one, I'm definitely going to rate 8 out of 9 Warp World pipes. So this is definitely takes you on an adventure. Very rewarding. It won't be a quick solve, even though I showed you and it seemed pretty straightforward. It takes a while to figure all this stuff out. And then it takes another while to figure out how to put it all back in. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. This is Juno's SDBBM. If you like, leave a comment or leave a thumbs up. You can subscribe if you want. I'm just doing puzzles lately, but I appreciate all of you and have a great day.